Welcome back, students. So, basically we are discussing several strategies which includes a combination of starting material, functional group as well as transformation in a combinative way. We said that if a target is given to you and a starting material is also given to you, then you try to correlate the starting material structure with the given target, and in between you need to take the help of several transformation based approaches. That what are the transformations you can think of, you can design, or you can basically visualize that this transformation will lead you from this starting material to this target. Now, if your target is little bit complex, then probably you need combination of transformation. A single transformation might not be sufficient, combination of transformation is required. In addition, you can also think of that what are the functional group present in the target molecule and what are the functional group present in the starting material. So, that functional group based analysis also will help you to disconnect through a functional group based approaches, and definitely the transformation will be your key, that this transformation will give this functional group and convert this functional group to other functional group which you are looking for. So, we will try to continue our discussion on the initial problem. This particular problem which the target molecule was given to you something like this, and we said that this particular stereocenter of ethyl we have fixed it, that this stereocenter is required. Now, this molecule does have a stereocenter here, but we are not concerned about that. Now, basically why you were asking, because this kind of transformation or this kind of chemistry we have already discussed in our lecture note. The starting material which was given to you having a structure is this structure. Now, see this target molecule having a stereochemically pure ethyl appendages at this carbon as well as having a hydroxymethyl group here. The starting material also having the same structure. So, you can think of that this starting material, this part is basically similar, this part is basically similar, only thing is you need to extend on its left hand side only, basically you need to extend it. And eventually the whole strategy you will find that the initial starting material you are having a primary hydroxy group. So, we will let us now do the disconnection. Now, this left hand side you are having a diol, basically vicinal diol. So, vicinal diol probably you can think of by preparing or disconnecting through a this kind of thing. And I say that if you have this vicinal diol which you can just convert through a FGI, which is basically osmium tetroxide mediated dihydroxylation, which is very well known. And now, why we put a protecting group here? The initial starting material having a hydroxy group. So, as we will be experiencing multi-step synthesis, it is always better advisable the starting material hydroxy group you first protect it, that is why you put a PG here. Okay. Now, we will again disconnect the molecule, and now we will be doing a disconnection here, and this disconnection basically will give you a intermediate something like this. We say if you having a vinyl, simple vinyl anion which in principle can be created by vinyl lithium or vinyl magnesium bromide, which is a source of vinyl anion, and then if you having a adjacent carbocation kind of thing, by simple substitution reaction you can correlate or you can connect this carbon carbon bond. Now, this particular fragment will be visualizing in this way. If you having a compound like CH2Br or CH2I, which you can visualize as CH2 plus, the remaining part all are similar. Now, try to correlate this, how this bromo you can convert, this bromo you can easily prepare through corresponding alcohol. Okay. And now see the starting material was given a ester, methyl ester. So, methyl ester can be converted through a reductive cleavage or a simple FGI to corresponding OH. So, starting material is basically here. Now, as I said initially we need to protect the free hydroxy group. So, your starting material is this and you are having this hydroxy methyl compound. Now, you do a close analysis. I say we will be trying to use a paramethoxybenzyl protection. You definitely can do other protection, this absolutely no issue, but paramethoxybenzyl protection means basically you need to, what is paramethoxybenzyl? We have already explained earlier, it is basically paramethoxybenzyl group. Now, here if you analyze this compound in the stereocenter having a hydrogen which seems to be acidic due to electron withdrawing effect of the CO2 Me group. So, normal if you try to protect by a standard base mediated reaction with one equivalent of sodium hydride and PMB bromide, you will be definitely getting the protected compound. But as I said, as this hydrogen is acidic, there is a enough possibility if you treat sodium hydride, then this hydrogen might undergo epimerization, because this center is extremely acidic. So, the stereochemical purity of the final product you are not absolutely sure that it might undergo epimerization. Now, in this case we have already talked about you can use PMB immediate. The PMB immediate we have explained how you can prepare, and basically you need a mild acidic condition. So, first is your PMB immediate which will basically protect the primary hydroxy group as it is. Okay. And this PMB immediate, the chemistry of PMB immediate we have already explained to you in earlier lecture. So, please try to refer that lecture. Now, your remaining steps are absolutely similar. You can reduce this ester to corresponding primary hydroxy group, okay, something like this, and then you have to convert this hydroxy to the bromo to generate the electrophile. The best way you can do is by Appel reaction, which was also taught to you. The reagent is triphenyl phosphine and CbR4. So, then by this way you will end up with this compound. Now, this compound is our one of the intermediate, and then we say if you try to use a vinyl magnesium bromide with little bit of copper iodide, initially you will basically get a vinyl copper reagent. Now, this vinyl copper reagent basically serve as a this minus, it is basically minus copper plus, and now you try to react with this vinyl anion with this electrophile in normal SN2 fashion. So, then basically what you will get, your ethyl part will remain same here, you have this O PMB, then you have a CH2 here, and then you put this vinyl. So, you are almost close. Now, if you write the intermediate which we have obtained in the earlier slide, then you find that we basically after this SN2 reaction we obtained here. Now, here basically you need a dihydroxylation where osmium tetroxide is the preferred reagent. You can use NMO as a co-oxidant, and this is very standard straightforward reaction, and then now this will be basically giving you this vicinal diol OPMB. And the final target, if you see, the PMB group has been deprotected. So, PMB deprotection, you can straight away use DDQ in a water medium or a aqueous buffer, and then the PMB group will be deprotected as discussed earlier by DDQ condition, and you will get the final target molecule. So, what are the reaction we basically used here? If you try to correlate, we basically first do a protecting group based strategy, protecting group based reaction, and there we used a PMB immediate to take care of the stereo center, Then we use a Apple reaction to generate the corresponding bromide from the alcohol, and then also we are using a SN2 type reaction, So, this all these reactions have been combined together, and eventually you can classify this particular heterosynthetic pathway in a combination of all the three. Basically, we are using functional group based chemistry. So, this alcohol to bromide, you know that this functional group transformation can be easily done with the help of Apple reaction, and this finally also we used a dihydroxylation reaction through a osmium tetroxide mediated dihydroxylation. So, those are the finer aspects you need to always think about. Now, in the starting material, functional group plus transformation based strategies, sometimes we can talk about another strategy which is basically similar. It says this mechanism based strategies. Now, mechanism based strategies are basically extension of this transformation based strategies, means if you are quite sure about a particular mechanism of a key transformation or name reaction, you can design that if this mechanism operates through this way, then this functional group might lead you to that target molecule. We will now explore this particular mechanism based strategies through a simple example. The example here which was given to you is this particular compound. Now, eventually the stereochemistry you can keep it or you can remove it if you want a simplified version. Now, I kept it because I said okay, let us draw the stereochemistry and then see how it can be. The target molecule is this one, the starting material is this one, Bn stands for benzyl. Now, try to count the carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 is the basic skeleton in this tetrahydrofuran carbon. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4. So, no need to add any extra carbon as it is evident from the particular structure, but here if you see the side chain of this tetrahydrofuran, you have a 1 carbon extra CH2OBN. So, this is basically 5 carbon and this part is 1, 2, 3, 4. So, the tetrahydrofuran, though it is a 4 carbon, it is having a benzyl appendage with CH2OBN. So, this CH2 initially we did not count. So, basically you need to add 1 carbon extra. Now, I will just put the target molecule and we will see how this target can be made. Now, I write this target molecule in little bit different way to have a. Now, for this part I say the stereochemistry I just omit it. Okay. I said it will be written in this way. Okay. It is absolutely same compound, just to explain that how this mechanism is basically operating. Now, I say if you can think of some intermediate, something like this, and here you are having a leaving group at this one of this end. So, this can undergo a intramolecular SN2 type reaction. I said intra SN2 to give you the 5 member ring. It is basically speculation, and this O minus you can just keep it as a OH, because that will give you a more convenient way. You can just put it as a OH, fine. Now, this will just now rearrange the entire compound in a linear form. We will just try to rearrange the compound in a linear form. I said X should be a leaving group. In addition, X can also give you a extra carbon. Now, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your OH. So, this displacement we are basically talking about. Okay, is basically talking about this displacement. Now, try to correlate how this compound can be coming from this compound. Now, I say if you have a intermediate something like this, is it this is OH. Now, say if somehow you can try to open it up, or you can just open it up this epoxide by some nucleophile in this end, and the nucleophile must give you the extra carbon. So, we are basically opening up the epoxide here, that this carbon as well as this X will be coming from the nucleophile. Now, see it will give you a CH2, this CH2, it will give you OH, and this OH is the source of the O minus. And now, this starting material, this is the starting material which you can we go to the next slide, and then you see how this static material of this intermediate which you are proposing. We said if you have a nucleophile which can basically give you that one carbon extra as well as a leaving group, you can get this intermediate, and this intermediate will undergo nucleophilic ring opening and then intramolecular displacement. Now, do the analysis with the starting material, that how this could be linked with the starting material. The starting material is basically this OH, this epoxy. Now, initially we say if somehow you can protonate this epoxide hydrogen to give you a alkoxide. Now, this alkoxide serves as a very good nucleophile, and if somehow this nucleophile attacks here to open the epoxide, you basically get this compound. So, this is basically a rearrangement of internal epoxide to a terminal epoxide. Okay. And this particular reaction is named as Payne rearrangement. So, a internal epoxide is basically rearranged to a terminal epoxide. That is the main transformation in the Payne reaction. Now, we try to figure it out, the problem which was given to you. Stereochemistry I did not mention. So, first we take a equivalent of sodium hydride. Sodium hydride was usually used as a base initially, that basically will give you this alkoxide. As I said, this undergoes intramolecular ascent to open up the epoxide in this particular fashion. So, basically you will get now a terminal epoxide. Now, this terminal epoxide, your O minus is here and CH2OBN is here. Now, this terminal epoxide, if you can treat some of the external nucleophile which can also give you a extra carbon. Now, this particular nucleophile which we will be now talking about, we have used this kind of nucleophile in the Corey-Chaykovsky reaction, if you remember, is trimethyl sulfoxonium, actually is S plus and I minus. Basically, it has been generated from dimethyl sulfoxide. When you reflux it with methyl iodide, you get this compound. Now, this kind of similar compound we use trimethyl sulfonium iodide in Corey-Chaykovsky reaction. Corey-Chaykovsky reaction. Okay. Now, I say this particular compound we will be using as a internal nucleophile. Now, this compound, the structure is basically like this, and this compound also, if you subject it to a sodium hydride, this will immediately instantly give you the corresponding anion CH2 minus. Now, this CH2 minus will now attack to the terminal epoxide which have been generated after the Payne rearrangement. So, this epoxide will, this nucleophile now will attack this sterically less hindered site, and now what we will get? You basically get this open up one CH2 will be now added to the, so CH2, this CH2, your oxygen will now minus, you can put this oxygen also minus, it can be also quenched. Now, what I say? I say that if you now attack these things, this O minus at this carbon, the dimethyl sulfoxide will be now living as a living group. Now, dimethyl sulfur containing compound having a good living aptitude. So, now a intra SN2 will take part, and that will basically leave your dimethyl sulfoxide as it is. So, then basically you will get the 5 member compound which you are discussing in the initial. Your OBN will remain here because you are making this carbon bond, and your O minus is remaining here. You simply do a acidic workup and will end up with the target molecule. Now, the original problem where from it was taken, they basically give you a nice stereochemical demonstration of the entire problem. For simplicity, I have omitted the stereochemistry part, but if you see the transformation which you have used it at the very beginning is a very nice reaction named as Payne rearrangement. Now, Payne rearrangement, if you do not know the mechanism of Payne rearrangement, probably this retro is very difficult to visualize. So, initial part, as I said, is the mechanism based strategies, and if you are sure about the mechanism of Payne rearrangement, that by this kind of base mediated transformation, a internal epoxide is converted to a terminal epoxide. That gives you the main flavor, and then finally you need a nucleophile, which will give you a one carbon as well as the nucleophile having a living group. So, this criteria has been fulfilled by this trimethyl sulfoxonium iodide. This is acting as a good nucleophile. you can basically create the nucleophile of the carbon species by treating with a base, and then you react with this epoxide which have been generated after the Payne rearrangement. So, this kind of transformation often give you a very nice clue or very nice idea, and as I said, this is a purely transformation based approaches, but in addition you can also as the starting material was given to you. So, you can classify it in the starting material based approaches also. The next one will be trying to have a similar kind of example. It is basically a bicyclic compound. The left hand compound is a tetrahydrofuran fused with a cyclopentane. You have two angular methyl. Anyway, the angular methyl stereochemistry was given, but probably we won't talk about the stereochemistry thing here. Now, the starting material was given. So, I have provided you the starting material. Sorry, this is the target and this is the starting material. Now, if you do a skeletal disconnection, you will find that only thing is you need to remove something here, okay, and you need to introduce a oxygen with this carbon. So, this part will be basically has to be vanished. Now, what I do here, I will follow a very classical retro based on very important reaction. Probably all of you know this important reaction, but I will try to figure it out. I will say that this alcohol will be bringing from a acetate by simple acetate hydrolysis, which is a very classical FGI. Okay. Now, I say that this alcohol or this acetate will be created through this reaction. Now, once I write these things, that a ketone can be converted to acetate, the transformation which will initially come to your mind is a Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. Now, Baeyer-Villiger oxidation, we say if you having a ketone, you can basically get a corresponding ester. Now, if you have unsymmetrical ketone, depending on which alkyl group having most tendency to migrate, the more migrating tendency is basically depending on its structure. Tertiary or more substituted alkyl group will migrate towards the electron deficient oxygen. So, this migrating tendency you should be familiar with that. Now, here this is basically a ketone is having this group and having a methyl group. Now, if you now think that this is the highly substituted group and methyl is a simple group. So, definitely this group will migrate towards the oxygen, and that is what this carbon oxygen bond connection was there. Now, how you can convert this to this or correlate the starting material? By a simple oxidation. So, now we are not doing the forward pathway. I said this is basically a oxidation based FGI. Starting material, you do a oxidation based FGI, you come here. Now, stop it here. You think about doing a Baeyer-Villiger oxidation transformation, and this transformation your mechanism says that the more substituted alkyl group, this group will basically migrate towards the electron deficient oxygen reagent. In Baeyer-Villiger reaction, the reagent we used MCPBA. The mechanism I am sure all of you know it. So, please if you are not sure about the mechanism, again check the mechanism from your standard textbook, and then you find that this group will basically migrate. This group has more migrating aptitude than the methyl, and once it migrate, you have this carbon oxygen bond. Your next is simple hydrolysis. So, this kind of combination or a simple transformation in which you know the mechanism, that will basically give you a very clear cut idea that which pathway to choose and which pathway not to choose. So, probably we will keep on continuing the discussion on similar kind of problems where functional group, starting material and transformation all are combined together, and as of recently we have started talking about some mechanism based strategies. Then basically that will also give you a flavor that how mechanism based strategies of a key transformation will help you to design a certain synthetic pathway en route to a small molecular targets. We will see you in the next lecture. Till then, goodbye.